What's going on, Mr. RapNerd? And I finally got around to seeing the personally highly anticipated Smile 2. If you've seen my most anticipated films of the year, this was high on my top 10 list. And the story follows a musician named Scott Riley who is returning back to the public eye from a tragic accident. And in the midst of rebuilding herself and putting the pieces back, she is plagued by the Smile demon/entity curse. Now that's all I want to say about the film, because that's really what the movie is about. So first of all, man, I gotta say, I loved this film. I was a little thrown off though, because people were saying it's way better than the first, and when the credits were rolling, I was kind of indecisive about that, because I was like, I don't know if it's up there with Smile. I don't think it's way better like people say, but I do understand how they got there. But for me, I would say that this movie is a little bit under Smile, just because the first one was such a surprise. But this one was great, and I believe the director's name is Finn Parker. Excellent direction. Excellent direction. So let me start off with the performances. Sky Riley is played by Naomi Scott, and she did an incredible job. Gave up a very potent, emotionally driven performance that I think is better than what Sosie did in the first one, just because this character is already damaged, so you start from that position, and she just continues to unravel throughout the story, and it made for a very, very intense watch. I would say more intense than the first, because with her being on this scale of stardom, everything is amplified. The people she deals with who kiss her ass, the people who love her as fans, and she wears that emotion extremely well, from trying to keep it together to losing her mind, to not really losing her mind, to dealing with her family members. She just offers up such a fully rounded emotional performance here, and without her, this film does not work, because again, she just did an outstanding job. And Naomi is also a singer, so all of the vocals here, she sang, so that adds even more to her performance, even the performance art of the movie, because she does have segments where she's doing choreography and dancing, whether that be through practice or on stage, and those things all go into the performance physically for the character. So I mean, just outstanding job on her end, and she is what makes the movie the movie. And the second show out for this movie is the director, Parker Finn. Just an incredible director, man. The opening scene is so phenomenal. I want to see Parker go into the action territory, because what he did here was just incredible. Not going to spoil it, but to me, this hands down is one of the best scenes in the entire movie. The way it opens, I was literally just watching like, where are we going from here? And then it just opens up some more, and I'm like, okay, whoa. Fantastic opening, and he really flexed his muscles as a director of what he can do. And that goes on, throughout the film. You can tell with the budget being higher and having more resources, he was able to do so damn much that he couldn't do with the first film. It's that sequence where Naomi is being chased down by all of those dancers kind of crawling on the wall towards her. There is way more to that scene, and I remember watching that just like, this is excellently directed, from just being able to have all of the characters on point and in sync, but what goes on in that scene is even more. And again, I don't want to spoil that, but I was like, how are they doing this right now? What are the components of what I'm seeing right here? Because this is madness. And just like the first one, there are a lot of jump scares, but again, they're not cheap. They're all built from a really nice place, and they also deliver in not typical ways to feel earned. There are a lot of moments that literally made me shudder in my seat, because I even saw certain things coming. Like, it sets you up to the point where you can see what's in front of you, and you're like, okay, something is going to happen, but you still get got by it. And I feel like those are also incredible scares. It just speaks to how Parker was able to frame the scare and deliver that scare And I love the way that he did it. There are a lot of ones that call back to the first film. And honestly, the film in general is the other side of the coin to the first Smile, especially with the career change. You know, you have Sosie's character, who's just a regular schmegular person, just a psychiatrist on a smaller scale, flipped to this way large scale because Sky is this big star. And the timeline of each film kind of follows the same type of events in a way, but they're flipped because of the different types of lives each of these characters live. And I thought that was an excellent way to go about this film, showing these two sides. And as it did in the first one, the sound design and the score works really well. A lot of the sound is used for jump scares in the best possible ways. You'll look at something not really knowing what you're looking at, but the sound accompanying that sight offers us a huge scare in multiple places. And as I mentioned earlier, just a beautifully shot film. Cinematography is just as excellent as the first one in different ways because, again, with the scale of this film being higher because of the character, there were just different things that Parker is able to do here that he was not able to do in the first film. A lot of wonders that work incredibly well in this film. Now, another thing about the movie that I really love is the tone here, because I said earlier it was intense, but it finds these places to be kind of comedic and campy in ways that the first one didn't. I feel like the first one was 100% serious, whereas this one interjects some camp in a few different ways by the way characters act, the way other characters handle things, the speech, the way people talk. Like, it's all made in a way to make Sky look and feel crazier because of how people react. And I love that additive to this movie that the last one didn't have. It shows that Parker is able to write and both direct something that is a little bit more campy, but also not let up on the intensity of the film. It worked well having these two things at play because it, again, puts you in the shoes of Sky to be like, is this really happening or is this not? And speaking of that, the movie does play with reality quite a bit, to the point where I want to rewatch the movie because there are reveals that happen later on that let you know, like, so none of this happened. Holy shit. They play it in a way that it's in plain sight that none of this happened. You know, I'm thinking back on certain scenes and I'm like, that's why this happened. And there are even moments where I'm like, okay, that would never happen. Like, who, like, what? Like, what? And then you reveal, like, okay, that's why, because it didn't happen. That may frustrate some people, but for me, I found it to be dope. I'm a big rewatch guy, and stuff like that plays out even better when you rewatch it, knowing what you know about the film. I am really looking forward to what Smile 3 is, because the way that this film ends, it makes me wonder, like, okay, how do we handle this? Because the thing about this film is it doesn't delve deeper into the lore like some people may want, but I feel like it presents some of the same concepts from the first one to help you as a viewer kind of build the lore as to how this entity works. It's giving you little bits and pieces to put together. And I do like that, you know, and I'm aware that people may not like that either. You don't really get answers for the entity, but personally, I wasn't really looking for that. I got what I wanted out of this movie. You know, the perspective is different. So how would this entity affect somebody else? So all in all, I love this film. It's in my top 10 of the year. Just a blast of a movie. And if you did like the first Smile, I would definitely say check it out. Great sequel, and I absolutely loved it. So if you've seen Smile 2, let me know in the comments what you thought. Did you like it? Did you love it? How do you compare it to the first? And if you like this kind of content, make sure to like and subscribe. And if you already are subscribed, thank you. And until next time, peace. RapNerd Productions, no capping, that's word to mommy. Instead of banking on it, now rapping is just a hobby.